Welcome back. First leg of the Champions League knockout stages
is
done. Let's talk about it.
As you can see, the results, leg 1, all the way from Tuesday to today. All right, we got action-packed from game 1 to Arsenal losing to Porto. Oh, goodness. We'll get to that, though. Manchester City, though, on the other hand, big 3-1 win in Copenhagen, unlike some could do in Copenhagen. Okay, 3-1. It was a beautiful performance. There were times where I thought I wanted a little bit more, but overall, good 90 minutes. Copenhagen had times where they defended pretty well, especially in the first half, the middle of the first half, and pretty much all of the second half. They defended really well. Solid team. As we always do, minute 1, the lineups, things like that. Lineup, pretty good. Basic as you can like. Hojlund, De Bruyne, Foden, things like that. We see Jack Grealish get in. Old Jackie Grealish hasn't started a game in a while. God love him. Gets on and he gets hurt. Tragic. Gets hurt not very far into the game, maybe like 25 minutes into the game, something like that. He gets subbed out. Unfortunate for him. He's definitely needs to pick it up. His form hasn't been that great. And
he's hurt.
His form hasn't been that great. It's unfortunate now that he has an injury, so it just makes it that much harder to find your form again like he did late in last season when he was playing really well for us. Either way, though, Man City 3-1. It all starts in minute 10, Kevin De Bruyne. Beautiful goal, right side of the goalie. Pure finish as you can like.
I hate seeing that ginger motherfucker back.
Beautiful.
Playing. Like, I never wish injury upon anybody. I hope he doesn't get injured. I just hope that one day he's just like, nah, it's not for me anymore. I'm done. And just says, fuck it. I don't care about these, 3 years of my contract.
He's a baller. This guy, I mean, he can literally do no wrong in my eyes. Honestly, it's gotten to that point. This guy, I absolutely love him. He comes back from a long injury. Immediate impact in every single game he's played pretty much. Whether it be a goal or assist or just playing well.
Yeah.
He's outstanding. There's a reason I believe he is the best midfielder in the world. It's because he just does things. He makes things happen. Okay? Doesn't matter the occasion. Premier League, Champions League. We move on. It's 1-0. Bang, bang. Feeling good. Copenhagen start putting on the pressure. This is where I was saying they're defending well. Compact. They were on the counter a lot, doing well.
There was a couple really good tackles on the counter from Copenhagen that really helped them build some momentum before, obviously, City go on to roll them over. But at that point, Copenhagen had been building some momentum. They looked very dangerous, even on their own counters, but they had some really good crunching tackles on City counters.
Yeah, and to that point, them with that momentum, they earned it with a goal. Magnus Madsen. This guy's first goal, his debut. I don't know if it's for the Champions League or just for the club in general. I'm not too sure. But debut nonetheless, either way. Scores a goal against Manchester City. Pretty impressive. We go on again. This is the point in time where it's a little tight, this game. It was you know what I mean? It was tight. Defending was well. We get late in the second half. A beautiful, beautiful goal from Bernardo Silva. Picks up a ball from Kevin De Bruyne, who I think he meant to pass it to him, but not in the way it happened.
Yeah.
And Bernardo Silva, from kind of the same angle, but a different sort of shot, outside the foot, puts it right into the corner again, past the goalie. Beautiful goal. We're up 2-1. We get into the second half at this point. Again, crunch time. Copenhagen defending very well. It was certain players I wanted to see do a little better. Jeremy Doku being one.
Hojlund was a conversation about him.
Yeah, Hojlund I felt could have finished off some more chances. Not going to put too much blame on him. We were getting the ball on him as much as we could. I think he had like 3 or 4 maybe solid chances. You would expect him to put at least one of those away, at least, to be honest, being the world-class striker he is, for sure. We get down to the 90th minute after all this defending, and little 1-2s, De Bruyne, Phil Foden, 2 saucy boys on the team yet again, and a combination to make it 3-1. In pretty much the last minute, we go on. 3-1 win over Copenhagen. Some people can't win in Copenhagen.
The other Tuesday game last week, Real Madrid, RB Leipzig. Not exactly the powerhouse that Leipzig was a couple years ago. We could really get excited for this, but it was a good game. 1-0, Real Madrid. Brahim Diaz
Solid.
I mean, there's a reason he doesn't play for City anymore. He's too good.
Oh, God.
He scores. Obviously, they do well. 1-0. Not a whole lot. Very back and forth game. 50-50 possession. It really just paints the picture of that game. Like, you had a couple of chances. Leipzig had extra corners and some extra shots on target, but there really wasn't much for them.
Moving on to the Wednesday game right after. Two big games. The first one we're going to talk about, our own PSG against Real Sociedad. I'm wearing the jersey, so got to represent them right now. They win 2-0 over Real Sociedad. Sociedad team who's been not doing as hot as they were last year. They're not looking like as much of the dark horse dynamite team as you would last season.
That Cinderella story that could have happened last year. They just really haven't kept
with La
up
Liga,
with it.
not even really Cinderella. Just like they looked a lot better last season, getting in the top 4 for sure. This year, I don't think they're going to make it top 4. Probably due to Girona just playing so well. I don't know. They're probably not going to make it after this round. Down 2-0 to PSG.
It's tough.
It's pretty much wrapped up.
Mountains are there to be climbed, though.
Kylian Mbappe with a goal, and then a young Barcola, young up-and-coming Paris Saint-Germain kid. 2-0. Either way, though, PSG with the victory.
Bye-bye Mbappe.
Yeah, he's gone.
Big result. Big upset for Lazio. 1-0 over Bayern Munich. Nobody, and I don't care who you are, Bobody saw this coming. Not a single soul. I mean, yes, Bayern have been a little shaky at points in the Bundesliga this year. We know they are not in first right now. They're chasing. It's a weird position for them to be in, and it just keeps getting worse. 1-0 loss to Lazio is a really bad sign.
Yeah, huge. Harry Kane, the curse. The curse of Harry Kane, I guess it must be. No, honestly, I think it's Tuchel. Harry Kane, he's scoring goals at an amazing rate, whatnot. Bayern Munich, though, as a team, not playing good at all. But this game, you could say some poor decisions were made. Yeah. As we see Upamecano with his red card. Terrible. And then Immobile stepping up, taking a pen, scoring it. And then from that moment on, Bayern Munich just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
Just yesterday, Atletico, Inter Milan, really just a defensive juggernaut going up against one another. Both of these teams are known for their defensive prowess, especially Inter this year. They have been immaculate defensively this year. Not only in the Champions League, but also in the Serie A.
It's no wonder we saw a 1-0. PSV Borussia Dortmund. Big game. Actually, a pretty good matchup this way between the way Dortmund have been playing, which is not that great, and the way PSV have been playing, which is pretty great in their league. The Americans, Serginho Dest, Tillman getting the start, Pepe coming off the bench later on.
Knocked Ajax off of their perch in the Eredivisie, and still continuing to build in the Champions League this year. I mean, it's really impressive to see not only the way that they've transformed the squad, but the way that they're putting these tactics into the games. I mean, they're not, City. They're not Real Madrid.
Yeah.
These are guys that have been thrown together, a bunch of different places, a bunch of different teams, and they have just excelled beyond what anybody thought. I mean, as American fans, we want to see our players do well in every competition, and to see them doing well and starting for a team that actually can compete is really, really cool.
It's actually honestly amazing. You see players like Pepe coming from Augsburg going there. He's not starting every game because they got De Jong there, they're pretty much their star man, but he's still doing it really well, coming off the bench, scoring goals. Serginho Dest and Malik Tillman playing really good parts in this team now. Hats off to their manager, getting them in a really good position. Dortmund, they score with Malin to make it 1-0, and then they tie it back up. It's going to be an amazing second leg.
Finally, today's games, 1-1 Barcelona-Napoli. Took just 70 minutes for our guy Hojlund to score.
Yeah.
Obviously, we love to see it. We like Napoli. We want them to do well. But for this real purple patch they've been going through this year, it's tough to watch.
Especially, it feels like after last season winning the Scudetto and then pretty much not improving really at all.
Regressing.
I feel like they did a really good job of they lost Kim, their best defender by far, to Bayern Munich, getting money in for him, buying some, I don't even know, who aren't doing any well. And then you do manage to keep Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia, which is a bonus, which is really good. But at the same time, you just won the Scudetto. You're telling me you can't go and get you somewhat of an improvement, or at least stabilize, at least plateau. But they can't do that, and it seems like they're just slowly on the regress. But at the same time, we have Barcelona, who are on that train also going down just as well.
Another top 5 striker in the world. We do see Lewandowski score. Just a good assist from Pedri. Good build-up play. Nutmegs one, and then Lewandowski on the shot nutmegs a second one. So anytime that happens, it's a banger of a goal.
Yeah. And now, on to the final game.
Your feature presentation.
Champions League. The biggest result, probably. Not the biggest result, but it's pretty amusing to other English fans of other clubs, to this Arsenal fan. And they lose 1-0 to Porto. Imagine that.
Not only do they lose 1-0 to Porto, they lose 1-0 to Porto in the 94th minute. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team was hanging on, man. They were there consistently from minute 1. It was 0-0 all the way up until that point. And Porto were just able to figure it out, I guess.
Freaking peach of a goal from Galanto. However we...
Let us know.
Yeah.
We know you're watching. Tell us how to say your name.
Yeah.
We know.
So, it was an absolute stunner. Just lifts it over Raya. Would Ramsdale save it? Would Bert Leno have saved it? You know what I mean?
These are the questions we got to ask.
These are the questions we have to ask, Mikel Arteta, where you at? Come outside.
And your piece de resistance, United wins 2-1 over Luton. Really good game from United. I mean, the performance, kind of like I've been saying, has been okay. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but from minute 1, Luton gave the ball away. Hojlund slots it 6-6. Well, technically 7-6. Just killing it right now.
Killing it.
This guy is not... He hasn't really been confident in his own abilities at all this year, but now you can see what that does for a player. No matter if you are world class, if your confidence is down and you're just really going through it, it's going to be a tough time. But to kick out of that and just score 6-6 or 7-6, like I said, it's going to be 8-7 because we're going to score. He's going to score at Fulham, but it's going to be really exciting to watch him the rest of this year and the next 10 years.
Oh wow, yeah. Speaking of Haaland, 1-0 over Brentford, scored a goal. He's another
no one cares.
Young star boy.
No one cares.
You know what I'm saying? But no, hats off to Hojlund, though. It's definitely impressive. Kid started out, he's coming into United team discombobulated, to say the least, we'll say. And yet, Erik ten Hag, I can't even give the credit to Erik ten Hag, to be honest with you. I think he's finally, Hojlund's coming into form. Mainu is his savior. I'm telling you that right now. This man, Kobe Mainu, coming into the side has completely... You can say whatever you want about an 18-year-old kid, but I'm telling you as a City fan, this kid is coming to the side, changed it. Casemiro playing better. You put in McTominay next to her. This kid in midfield, it just makes everybody else's job easier, and it just seems like everyone else is playing better. Finally, Antony's out of the side. We've been waiting for that Erik ten Hag. Martial isn't starting at striker anymore. For Manchester United, no fucking wonder they're winning now. The simple things, the obvious things are there. And they're working, you know what I mean? And we finally see Harry Maguire picking up some form too, so that helps.
That's all we got for you guys. We got more games this weekend. We'll be back next week. We'll get you with the baby... Oh, fuck.
That's it. That's the outro.